Houston, we have a problem.
That's not the one you need. You need to go get the one that is in that big crate. It's got like a surge protector on it.
What's the big crate?
Okay, we're up and running now, finally. There we go. Sorry about that. Combination of 2 computers being used by kids for schoolwork and all sorts of stuff. Apparently the clouds were copyrighted. I don't know what that was about, but YouTube decided something in the clouds was apparently proprietary information. So we'll let people figure out that we've switched the channel over. I'll have to send an invite to Miss Nix here possibly in just a second. My daughter wants everyone to know that she is in fact here, blowing bubbles in the background.
Yeah. If you see any, that means I'm in the background. Oh man, that can talk.
Okay, there we go. People are figuring it out now. Bots are falsely striking videos. Apparently so, Luke.
This is a mystery kid.
All right, we got Layla in here, it appears. I think there's my daughter with Bo.
Yeah.
It's not gonna reach.
Trying to figure out the extension cord situation on the deck here.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh.
All right, so while we get all this straightened away and people come in that want to be here, you may see my sign I've put up here. It is a fluffy puppy. This is something going on social media, so I'm definitely taking part in it. People are posting their reasons for staying home and the people that they're trying to protect. So you can see my list there, maybe if the glare is not too bad on the whiteboard. Yeah, hang on, I'll tilt it.
Yeah, my dad's showing you how to walk.
There you go.
And we have another problem. Houston, we have a problem.
So again, lots of folks are doing that. I thought it was something good to add for today. Something to be thinking about. I think a lot of people are finally coming to the realization that we may be asked to stay home a little bit more than we had planned on. But anyways, we're here. Anything you guys need help with or want to ask about, that's what the point of doing the chat is. But other than that, just to chat and talk. I will say,
if you have any JoJo memes.
Yes, me and the kids did look up what you guys were calling JoJo memes from the last time we met.
And I will tell you all the questions about JoJo.
I think I want those 10 minutes of my life back.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
Hey, don't say that. Oh, that's the bad boat.
Her version of JoJo remains the one that is on Nickelodeon, but apparently you guys are instead referring to the one that posts dank memes videos on YouTube.
No, it's a show.
Or, I'm sorry, my son says it's an actual YouTube show.
It's not a YouTube show.
Or just a show. Never mind. He's correcting me as I talk.
Yeah, Eli always corrects people.
Just to give you some updated stuff as far as what's going on at school, in case you were curious, all the Whitfield County schools have basically forbidden employees from re-entering the facilities for the rest of however long we end up being out. there for a few days. Miss Sloan and some other people were still showing up to work and manning the stations as far as people coming in to pick up work and things like that. But that is all going to end this week. So school will truly be kind of a ghost town for a little while. Yeah, Layla, I don't know all the people's names and who they are, but I do know that it was a lot of anime stuff, and I understand why you guys are using the term cursed images, because that came up quite a bit.
And here's something for y'all to see. Bubbles.
Daughter's blowing bubbles for you.
And trying to catch them.
This is my son right here with the earbuds in, holding our dog. This is Eli. He's a 6th grader.
Yeah, he only likes the phone.
He does.
If you have
Those
other
are
questions, I
his
can
most
answer.
prized possessions right now, along with the phone that they're attached to.
Yeah.
So DJ, if you're asking me, I mean, I'll be honest, these days are getting increasingly stressful. Some of the stuff that's been reported in the news, and I'm not going to go into full detail because I don't want to make you guys worried, but it doesn't sound too promising. So I do know that apparently the government is going to be paying us checks here very soon. So I'm excited about that.
And if you hear anything mumbling, that's Eli. I've gotten all the quizzes.
So one of the things I did this morning and I shared with you guys on Classroom, I do want to make sure you understand kind of what I'm doing there. I sent back your assignments that you've done so far. That way you would know that they have been graded, and it records them on Classroom for me in kind of a spreadsheet format like Infinite Campus. So if you're getting notifications from me about assignments being returned, it's not that I'm telling you to redo them or that they need to be redone. It's just that I'm letting you know they've been received and that the grade has been recorded. So most of you are taking full advantage of the way the CK12 lessons are setting up. You're getting hundreds on those, and you need to continue to do that. But those are getting recorded for you, so you're getting credit for your schoolwork.
I'm still blowing bubbles.
Ah, okay. So a real question. Cool. All right. So Layla's asking about the balancing of chemical equations, which is something you were asked to do today. I'm going to get out the other little whiteboard here so that I can kind of show you what's going on there. I'm going to do one that we've talked about quite a bit. You probably are tired of seeing it used as an example, but it's the creation of salt. So this would be a chemical equation for how salt would be created. Of course, it'd be sodium and chlorine that would be combined to make sodium chloride. If everything matches up within the atoms of these elements, then this would be a perfect chemical equation right now. It would need no modifications or changes made to it. However, if they don't match up, we have to manipulate them. So we manipulate them by changing the numbers in front. Basically works like a coefficient in math. You multiply that number in front of each element to change it. So if for some reason we needed, let's say, 2 sodiums in the final resulting table salt, put a 2 in front. That also then impacts the chlorine. So we would have to go over here and make changes to make it all work. So now there would be 2 sodiums that would have been there initially, 2 sodiums in the final product, 2 chlorines initially, 2 chlorines after you multiply here to get your final result as well. So that's what's in that balancing chemical equations assignment. That is something that we did. It's been a while now. It's a little bit mathy as far as what you're actually having to do, whereas the others are more just kind of reading and answering questions. So again, all those CK12 lessons, you have to get 10 questions correct to get 100. You don't have to get 10 in a row. You don't have to get 10 out of 10. You just have to answer 10 correct. Let's see. Do you have a journal? As far as, okay, so I assume that question is about the modeling of those chemical equations. I might have to pull up the CK12 lesson and see what's in there if there's some other way that they're showing it to you. It should be just balancing them the way I showed you on the whiteboard just a second ago. But if you need me to, I can pull it up and take a look and see what else might be there. Can you give me some more details on that? Hey, there's Miss Sloan. Hey, Miss Sloan. Alexis, if you're still trying to tell me what it is exactly you were referencing earlier, again, if you can give me kind of an example of what you mean by that, I'll either look it up or I'll try to answer it. While he's doing that, I did have a chance to ask Miss Nix about the review study guide packet that you guys had asked about in the last chat. And she said if you'll really read those directions that you'll understand it's not nearly as bad as you thought it was. I don't know necessarily what that means, but she also told me that she was going to send out a message, I guess, through Remind. So you probably have more information than I do, but I'll let her know about it. Also, she, I think, was going to share some resources that would help you in finding some online digital books, because a few of you had asked about finding some books to read. I know that I had shared with her the New York Public Library is doing I guess, a free version of their digital book checkout that you can take advantage of. Yeah, if your journals are at school, Dharma, I don't really know how to advise you on that. Maybe just start a new version of it. Obviously, like I shared with you earlier, the school buildings themselves are going to be off limits for all of us for the next little bit. So maybe just do a new journal, a temporary journal while we're away from the building. One of the things also that I'm letting my son do today, and really this is the first day he's taken advantage, is just having a day off from schoolwork. I don't really know how all your parents feel about that situation, but he's been working hard all week, and he's taking a day off today. He's going to go here in a minute, and we're going to do some stuff outside and kind of clear our head for a little bit. My daughter wants to do schoolwork every day, so I cannot convince her to take a break. She loves it.
Yeah. It's good.
So there you go. Miss Sloan shared some information that Miss Thompson has been sending out. They were going to do the original plan, I think, was maybe multiple times where you could come in and check out some stuff or be there. I think almost like a drive up and pick up situation for books. But she had shared with you right there that tomorrow is an opportunity. Yeah, Leanne, the sign behind me, I had shared that at the beginning. This is something that's going on social media. And people are just sharing their reasons for staying home. I guess it's got too much of a glare on it where it was setting, so I'm gonna put it up here at the screen. But basically, I'm staying home for my kids and my wife and my mom, who has several of the risk factors that we're worried about. And then honestly, your grandparents as well, because I might interact with them if I'm out doing stuff. So I've really had to dial it back as far as getting out of the house.
Have some great fun.
Well, Giselle, as far as the journals go, like I say, we actually have been ordered from top down from the county not to be in the building. So it will be really difficult to get in and get stuff like that. If they're in Miss Nix's room, for example, I don't know that she would have access to that. They're doing a deep cleaning of all the rooms right now. And once they've marked our rooms as clean, we're really not supposed to come back in and contaminate them. So my advice would be just to do a temporary journal, and then you could maybe transfer the work over when you get the opportunity to do that. Oh, okay. So Dharma, you're talking about our math and science journals. Gotcha. Yeah, any of the stuff that you need as far as formulas or anything like that, if you guys will ask me through Classroom, or you could put them here in chat and I'll look them up for you. I could do like a formula sheet or something like that. I mean, I can't promise you that I can recreate our notebooks for us digitally online, but if there's something specific, I will make sure I get it posted to Classroom for you.
Can I please go with Eli? He's walking the dog.
Yeah, and you see where Miss Sloan had commented about Miss Nicole working probably harder than any of us to get that done. So other than the question that came up earlier about the work that was assigned today as far as balancing chemical equations, you guys, based on the scores I'm getting, seem to be doing just fine with everything that I've asked you to do. Is there anything? Giselle's asking a question right now. Let's see what she needs help with. Scientific notation? Yeah, I mean, I can show you just a quick reminder of how to do that. The lesson should have been kind of like the basics of it as far as putting numbers into that form and taking them out. So I can do a real quick little review of what that would look like. Hang on one second. My daughter has moved my whiteboard though. Be right back. Okay. All right. So scientific notation. Format for numbers that have lots and lots of place value positions. Basically, you're looking to get each number into the form where it would have a number in front that would then be getting multiplied by base 10 power. The exponent's job would be to show how far you moved the decimal point. So we'll do a couple of examples real quick of what that would look like. That yellow marker, probably not my best choice. All right, so let's say that we had like a really, really big number. We'll go with something in the millions, billions. All right, so here we go. This number has lots of place value positions, and as a result, it's hard to talk about, hard to use it in problem solving. So we use scientific notation to shorten it down and keep all the meaningful digits. And when we're talking about the meaningful digits, we're talking about these digits right here and not those zeros on the end, because all they are is placeholders. They're just keeping those places alive so that we can talk about the total value of the number. So when we're writing it in scientific notation, we take our decimal point, which this time would be a whole number at the end, and we slide it all the way to the front of this number to create a number that is between 1 and 10. So this would be 2.342 times 10. And then to account for that change in where we put the decimal, we say we moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it'd be 10 to the 6th power to show that. And the reason it's a positive 6 is because this is a really big number, lots of value. If it was a really, really small number, like a tiny, tiny decimal, we would use a -6 to show that it was moving 6 in the other direction on the other side of the 0. So there's one example. We'll do another one too. All right, this time we will do a really small number, so something with a lot of decimal positions. So 0.00045. So again, lots of place value positions, hard to talk about that number, hard to really discuss it with anybody, use it in a problem. We're going to slide the decimal over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to that spot right there between the 4 and the 5, which creates the value 4.5, which is between 1 and 10. That number has to be between 1 and 10, times 10. And then because we moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and it's a small number, less than 1, we use a -5 to show that place value change. Now, in looking at that lesson that was on there, it really should have just been about putting numbers into and taking them out of the form and kind of how we can use it. But if it did go into the operations, then that's kind of a whole different story. I'd have to do kind of a separate lesson on that. So does Giselle, does that help you remember kind of what scientific notation is all about? Awesome. Again, all of that stuff that's being posted is review. This is the same thing that we would be doing if we were kind of in school getting ready for testing. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And you know, it's been a while, so don't feel bad if you've forgotten how to do it. I mean, that's the point. We want to trigger those old memories. And Miss Sloan says now she can do scientific notation as well. I will say that I've seen some numbers just to kind of tie it into the events that are going on. I've seen some numbers that have been reported as they've been sharing a lot of the scientific information on the news that actually were in scientific notation. So that's kind of a real life connection to what's going on around us right now, especially as we talk about kind of like the number of people impacted and the potential numbers that might be if we don't take measures to change things. Any other content questions? I've got some just random stuff I'll share with you guys while we've got some time together if you want to see it. But anything y'all need first, I want to take care of. We talked about the balancing chemical equations at the start of the stream. Again, looking to create equality with what we start with and what we end with in terms of the number of atoms of the elements. Beautiful day outside. If you guys are not in the full swings of allergy season, I would highly advise you to go outside for a little bit today. All right, Giselle's asking me about the stock market. Well, yeah, the stock market game, of course, has been a total disaster for us because the market itself has been a disaster. That continues. That has not gotten any better as we've been out of school. I think I heard that the other day may have been one of the worst individual days that the market has had in recent times. One of the things that I did hear them mentioning on the news this morning about it is that they're actually shutting down the trading floor and they're moving all the trades to digital because a couple of the traders actually themselves had shown signs of the coronavirus and I think maybe even tested positive for it.
Can we walk up through the subdivision? Can we walk them up through here?
Yeah, I really wish that we would get some pretty weather. I think that would help with, honestly, the situation we're dealing with the virus and the germs that are causing us to get sick. Lots of that stuff does better in damp, humid climates. And if we could get some nice, hot, dry weather, it actually could help with that situation as well. Right now, everybody's allergies are the thing that you're dealing with. And that's seasonal stuff. We all kind of go through that every year. All right. So while you guys are waiting to think if there's any questions or if anybody decides to jump in that may have some questions, I wanted to share with you some stuff that I had dug out of the garage as we were doing some early spring cleaning while we got this time. So this is the first thing I want to show you. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is my 8th grade basketball picture. I don't know if you can find me. I don't know if it's clear enough, but number 22. And that was when I was a Bagley Brave in 8th grade. Not to brag and toot on my own horn, but some of my stats down here at the bottom. Of course, a numbers guy, so I got to talk about my stats. Was our leading scorer. But right there in the middle is Mr. Ridley, number 22. And I'm sure this will come as no surprise to you, but 6th and 7th grade math awards. Don't know what happened in 8th grade. I can't remember. I want to say that, I was robbed of having the three-peat, but 6th and 7th grade awards right here. It's amazing how long this little kind of genie bottle has been the academic symbol of excellence, but we still use it on awards today, Quiz Bowl awards, etc. It was the rebounds. Yeah, I don't know. They weren't on there. Maybe it's because all the shots were going in, so there weren't any rebounds to be had. We'll say that was the reason. Well, the fact that I still have all these awards kind of tells you that they are already a mini shrine, I guess. But yeah, I need that room in the house to put everything on full display. Those were the only middle school ones that I could find. Of course, that was the biggest and greatest thing ever, is to have a piece of wood with some details about your successes on it. You guys had asked, or at least a couple of you had asked, about the possibility of getting together more opportunities to kind of talk to each other and visit. In fact, a couple of you had private messaged me about, setting up some type of a Discord chat or like a Slack channel or something like that. And everybody that has done so, I've replied back to them, just reminding them that we have some policies in place, Whitfield County policies, that prevent us from using a lot of programs that we don't have agreements with. So what I had shared with those folks, and this is true now to the entire group here today, if you guys want to do any of that and you want to organize it yourselves, that's fine. I can't set it up and I can't force membership into it or anything, but if you want to do it on your own, I can, allow you to do whatever you choose to do on your own time. And there's reasons for why that's in place. Basically, anything that collects information from us or from you is a possible risk, and we have to do certain safeguards in place to make sure that it's something we can allow you guys to use. So that's not something that I would imagine Discord has set up with the county. Let's see. What about the thing? Dalton, I don't know what Dalton is using. I'm sure if it's something that they are using that they kind of are sharing on their Google Classroom pages or whatever they're doing with their kids, that it's probably been approved by their school board. You got to remember, Dalton City Schools and Whitfield County Schools, we kind of coexist with each other, but we're not the same school system. So just because Dalton does something doesn't mean Whitfield does it, and vice versa. But I don't know what that's called, Giselle. Again, I'm sure they have some type of a licensing agreement with it. We actually got some information shared today about possibly using a Google product that creates kind of a video chat like we're doing here. Zoom, Okay, I know of Zoom. Now, does it provide like a chat room setting that you can use all the time? DJ says she's not a fan of it. Well, regardless, you know, whatever we can and cannot use, I'm going to continue to do some version of video chat like we're doing right now. Plan is still to try to do it twice a week. Of course, the week of spring break is still going to be a vacation week for all of us, whatever we actually get to do in terms of vacations at this point, I don't know, but still, that week will be kind of your time to do whatever you want. I probably will not be interfering with that with chats or assignments for sure on Google Classroom. Yet Google Hangouts has actually just been unlocked by our internet guru, Mr. Shaver, and his crew. So Google Hangouts is something that we could consider using. I think with Google Hangouts, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one where everybody has the ability to actually video, be on video during the chat. You could actually have your camera turned on, but that has been unlocked for us. But there's another version of a Google program that was just shared with us today that I'm going to look into as far as, you know, either a possible replacement or in support of this. I don't know if everybody would want to be on video either. That's the other thing. People get all weirded out when they know they have to be on camera. Speaking of the vacation thing with regards to the actual spring break week coming up, I did see where a lot of the public beaches in Florida, the bad PR that has come out of spring breakers being down there and saying all sorts of ridiculous things about why they should still be able to have their fun, that a lot of those beaches are actually going to look to shut down. I think Gulf Shores, Alabama actually just shut their beaches down this morning. So I don't know how that impacts any of you guys with your spring break plans or if you still have those plans, but it's going to be a time of sacrifice for all of us. Yeah, DJ's saying that if we do use one of the Google products, either the Google Hangout or the other one that I was mentioning, that you can turn off your camera, which again is a big deal for some people. You want to be able to participate sitting there and whatever you woke up out of bed, hair all crazy. I get it. Well, while we kind of hang out here, and again, just waiting to see if anybody's got questions about anything they want to ask. We did go over the balance and chemical equations at the start of the chat. We did a couple of examples of scientific notation numbers. Anything else you guys want to ask about, I'll be glad to either do kind of a mini review lesson for you, whatever you need, because that's really the main point of doing these, other than just staying in touch with each other and not feeling so isolated. I've got lots of little bugs in the yard coming to visit me. Maybe they want help with their bug stuff. All right, so I will share with you a little bit more about my experiences with the JoJo memes. Again, I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to be searching for, and I typed it in as a YouTube search and a Google search just to see what would come up. I was more expecting to see the JoJo Siwa stuff, but then quickly it transformed into an anime adventure down a dark rabbit hole of the internet. Again, a lot of the stuff you guys share on the art wall makes way more sense. now that I've seen it. I think that's where a lot of your inspiration comes from. But it was a very weird experience as we sat there together, me and my son and my wife, watching JoJo memes. Needless to say, she did not understand what we were watching. Eli could barely explain to me as well. And I was just kind of taking it all in. Lots of stuff with, again, anime people's heads imposed on different social media stuff. SpongeBob was included in a lot of them. Hey, Leanne, tell Ryan I said hi as well. My daughter stuck her head in to say hi.
I didn't even say hi.
Oh, ridiculous would be an understatement for sure. And I guess that's the point. It's just over the top, wild, crazy, like stream of consciousness stuff. I didn't realize it was an actual show though, so that was kind of news to me. I will have to get very, very bored in this time away from work to go back to looking at JoJo memes, I'm afraid. So, well, I mean, of course, it's great to y'all. You understand it, you like it. But to a nearly 40-something dad of two, it's a little strange.
I can't stick my head inside.
My daughter, who you just saw again, her only comment was that she thought we were going to be watching JoJo Siwa, so she was very disappointed.
So I just started talking about JoJo stuff. A JoJo Siwa thing popped up on my screen. Coincidence, I think.
Yeah, obviously two different variations of the name JoJo. Hey, it's Dawson. Hey, Dawson. Dawson, just to brag on him, since he popped in, is my only person that I'm aware of who is doing the Tinker lessons. And he has been asking me some questions about those. I do encourage you guys, if you're bored and you want some extra kind of enrichment style work, to take a look at those. But there's something very different than what we would do in class. They involve a heavy element of coding and computer software understanding that I'm not really an expert on, but I think it's neat and something worth doing if you're bored at home. Ms. Sloan obviously has no idea as well what we're talking about, and I think that's a good thing because, again, I probably would have rather not spent 10 minutes watching those. Let's see. DJ says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it to let Tristan bake home alone? I would have to think if 10 is like an apocalypse now type situation, you got to be getting close to that. So probably an 8 or a 9. I'm sure she's probably singing some type of show tune while she does, the baking or waiting on whatever it is that she's baking. Yeah, you guys are going lower than me, 6s and 7s. Doing some baking, though, since we are talking about that, is a great way to kind of spend some family time. You obviously get to eat whatever it is you make, and then you can practice some math with some unit conversions and things like that as you put together your recipe. And my Ellie's going to do an extended camera appearance for you right now.
I didn't get any bubbles away, so
Leanne, what do you mean it won't work? Like it won't pull up, or explain a little bit more what you mean. Several people, while you tell me a little bit more about that. Several people are having more success doing it on their phones. It actually does format really well for using it on your phone screen. A lot of the programs don't, but this one does. So if you are having issues, sometimes you're better off just switching over to mobile. Okay. Well, I'll have to look into that. I got my phone right here. I'm going to pull it up while we're talking. And there's my bow.
Get right into the camera.
So, okay. I'm pulling it up to look at with you. And are we talking about the math lesson or the science lesson?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I see in math where you had not turned it in yet. Let me try to pull it up and see what happens on the mobile copy. I mean, for what it's worth, and again, I mean, I know your phone may not be the same as mine. It's working pretty well on my phone, on an Android phone. So try it that way and see if it's easier to use or if it at least gets you past this one today. Okay, so I'm reading this. Let's see, what are we talking about? Luke says the dog's cute. Thank you.
Yeah, he is the cutest.
The thumbnail is a meme. Are we talking about the thumbnail like for my chat, or what are we talking about? Yeah, if you want to send me anything, just send it to me in an email and I'll take a look at it. I'm assuming I want to take a look at it. Let me rephrase that.
I bet you they're talking about the thumbnail to your stream. That is a meme if that's what they're talking about.
Bolo Bill.
Okay, well then, like I say, you welcome to send it to me and I'll take a look at it. I mean, okay, yeah. If you send it to me, I'll take a look at it right now and we'll get a live reaction to what it makes me think or feel. Get an email pulled up while you do that. By the way, while I got my email pulled up, I did get a message from YouTube about the previous one attempt from earlier being removed because of the copyrighted material. So again, we can only assume that clouds are in fact copyrighted in some way. All right, so I just got an email from DJ Wright. That is very appropriate.
What is it?
Those are both
Let me
hilarious.
see.
Well, see, again, this just proves how creative you guys are. So you took something and you immediately turned it into a meme. And now I'm going to share it with my son because he thought it was funny as well. And he gave an immediate laugh you might have heard off camera there. And now I'm going to show him the other one. Okay, I'll try to show you what DJ shared with me here. Not sure you're going to be able to see that real well. I tell you what I will do, assuming she gives me permission, I'll share one of these on Classroom when I post work tomorrow. Hopefully this is not how you feel when you see what I've left you to work on, but that thumbnail is funny, so I don't blame you for turning it into a meme. That's also what Mr. Ridley's hair looks like when it has absolutely no product in it. That was me sitting on the couch yesterday, not really realizing that I was about to get my picture made by by YouTube. We got some new people in the streaming chat today. Okay, so Noah has made an appearance. Noah and Dawson, both new to the chat, were not here yesterday or the other day. I would hardly call this a masterpiece. If it is, then your bar for what is a masterpiece is much lower than my own. I will try to make it better as we continue to do this weird digital learning that we are attempting to accomplish. But more than anything, like we talked about on the first one, is just an opportunity to kind of be in touch with each other and know that, you know, there is some normalcy that we're hoping to return to. Okay, Dawson sent me another one. Let's see what it looks like. Layla has set up a Discord server for you guys. Again, that's something that I can't necessarily do, but if you want it, talk to her and she'll get you involved. Checking on Dawson's submission here. Also very good, Dawson. Very, very good. Mr. Morrison just sent me a text message also. He's got this stream pulled up, and apparently Coach Elkins is doing one also. Says we got to get better with our backgrounds, that we need some CGI stuff going on. I thought coming outside today was a nice twist, but I have to step up the game a little bit. All right, let me show you Dawson's meme. I'm not sure, again, that you'll be able to see it real well, and I will share one of these memes tomorrow when I post your work for the day. So here is Dawson's. I don't know if you guys can see that. Needless to say, the face I was making in the thumbnail could be used for lots and lots of different scenarios. Basically, any feelings of I'm shocked, I'm disgusted, I'm overwhelmed. You guys just have fun with it. You use it as much as you want. And feel free to share them. That's fine. A green screen. Well, I mean, I don't even know how to use a green screen. I mean, I know how one works, but I don't know. I'll look into it and see if it's something that I can set up here at the house. So Dharma, you took the picture and attached the JoJo stuff to it. I am terrified at what that might look like. I might myself be a cursed image already, in fact. Layla has been left out of the meme generation party, and she is not happy about it. Coach Moore is also letting the rest of my coworkers know that I have been turned into a meme by you guys. So thank you for that. All right, well, we got just about 5 minutes left here today. I'm going to give you kind of a recap of what we actually did other than talk about the meme stuff. Early on, somebody was asking for help about balancing chemical equations. We went over an example of that. Just be reminded that you're basically manipulating the coefficient numbers in front to make sure that the number of atoms of each element are equal in the beginning and in the end of the chemical reaction. It's kind of like a math problem. It is a math problem. And then we also did a couple of examples of scientific notation just to remind people of what that looks like and how to put numbers into or out of that form. Looking ahead, we will still try to do another stream on Tuesday. The plan will move forward with Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 to 2. If there's something specific you guys would like me to go over that you want to kind of give me a heads up on, just send it to me in a message or an email, and that way I'll be ready to go over it or to share something with you. I'm going to look about trying to do some type of maybe like an example science experiment demonstration for you, although not being able to get in and get materials out of the science lab puts a little bit of a roadblock on that. Either way, I'm going to try my best. Can't promise anything on the green screens, and of course you guys have fun with the thumbnail picture and meme it up. Feel free to share those with me if you want to. And I will maybe include one each day when I post your work on Classroom just to make it kind of a reoccurring thing. Yeah, Coach Moore, I'm sure you will. So just a stream for memes on Monday. We'll see. I can't promise that. Miss Sloan's telling us bye. Bye, Miss Sloan. Elkins has his stream going right now as well. So we got multiple teachers you can check in with. That's probably true, DJ. I mean, I'll be honest though. I don't expect you guys to have a ton of questions about review material because it's review material. So you should be pretty well equipped to handle it. But I mean, more than anything, this is just availability. I'm here for you, whatever you need, whatever you want to talk about. I can get the link to Elkins' YouTube channel. Hang on a second. I'll try to. Dawson's saying that you can just do a search for his full name, Ross Elkins, and that probably would be the most time efficient way to do it. But I could try to get the actual URL and share it in here if you guys need me to. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and say my goodbyes for today. As always, it is incredibly fun to see you guys, talk to you, see the creative memes that you are creating of my face. And I look forward to seeing more in the future. My daughter wants to make sure to tell everybody bye, so I'm going to let her slide in here real quick.
Stay at home.
She says to stay at home, which is good advice. She's been doing that. So has her brother. But for today, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye until next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
See, I didn't forget my one this time. Do you think we could stay